When we look at the dreams we want to accomplish and problems we're hoping will turn around, it can seem like it's going to take a long time. Years to get out of debt, years to recover from a sickness, years to see the business grow. But God doesn't always do things on a normal timeline. The scripture talks about how He can do a quick work. He knows how to speed things up. He has these moments of favor where He will catapult you ahead. Everything seems routine, going along at the same pace, making the same progress. Then out of nowhere, one good break, one contract, one door opens, and you're 20 years down the road. You didn't see it coming. You can't explain it. It's God accelerating things, propelling you forward. When I'm watching a movie at home, or I've recorded a ball game, if it's getting boring, or if I'm in a hurry, it's no big deal. I pick up the remote control and hit fast forward. Jumps it ahead. Hit it again, 4 times the speed. Again, 8 times. Then 16, 32. It can go 64 times faster than normal. I can watch a 3-hour ball game in 30 minutes. The good news is God has a fast forward button for your life. Should take you 30 years to accomplish a dream. All God has to do is hit fast forward. It'll happen in a fraction of the time. I met a lady in the lobby that was waiting for a liver transplant. She was told it could take up to 5 years. So many people in line in front of her. Problem was, she didn't have 5 years. Her health was declining so fast. I told her what I'm telling you, that God is not limited by a normal timeline. God controls time. 3 weeks later, she came back in the lobby and I said, hey, I'm still believing with you. She said, no, Joel, I've already had the transplant. They called her back the next week. Her doctor said he had never seen anything like that before. What happened? God hit fast forward. God knows how to accelerate your dreams, accelerate your healing, accelerate what you're believing for. That's why you can't judge your future based on the progress you've seen in the past. God has the remote control. He has some of these fast forward moments coming your way. Things that will catapult you ahead. You can't explain it. You didn't see it coming, but suddenly you get well. Suddenly you're in management. Suddenly you break the addiction. Should have taken you a lifetime, but God hit fast forward. He did a quick work. For years, Lakewood was on the other side of town, and that area had gotten a little run down and become more industrial. By the grace of God, we moved into this place, the former Compaq Center. The Rockets basketball team won 2 world championships here. It's on the busiest freeway in Texas. 2 million people a year had come into this building for sports and concerts. That one move put us 50 years down the road in influence, in credibility, in respect. I had people that wouldn't give me the time of day, treated me like I was second class. From that poor church across town, those holy rollers. When we got to Compaq Center, those same people that ignored me, they'd come up and say, can we come to your church? Will you save us a seat? I said, sure will, right up there by the flag. But that one good break did more than I could do on my own in my whole lifetime. God has some of these fast forward moments for you. You couldn't make it happen. You couldn't change their mind. You couldn't make yourself get well. It's the hand of God propelling you into your destiny. He has the remote control right now. You're on the verge of seeing acceleration, a quick work, God speeding things up. What should have taken you years will happen in a fraction of the time. Well, Joel, I don't know, man. I feel stuck. I'm not making much progress. My dream seems so far off. No, get in agreement with God. You have to be a believer and not a doubter. Father, I want to thank you that acceleration is coming my way. Thank you that you've already lined up these fast forward moments that'll propel me into my destiny. Acts chapter 8, Philip was in Samaria ministering. This angel came and told him to go into the desert on the road that leads to Gaza. He didn't know what it meant, but he obeyed. Along came this Ethiopian man riding in a chariot. He was the treasurer for the queen of Ethiopia, a very respected and influential man. While he was riding, he was reading out loud a passage from the book of Isaiah, that talked about Jesus. When Philip heard this, he walked alongside the man and asked if he understood what it meant. The man said he didn't. Philip started explaining to him about how Jesus came and how He died and rose again, and when we believe in Him, we can have salvation. This man was so excited. He saw some water and said, I want to get baptized right now. He got out and Philip baptized him. When the man came up out of the water, the Scripture says the Spirit of God caught Philip away and the man never saw Philip again. You can imagine what the man thought. Came up out of the water and suddenly Philip is gone. He's disappeared. Verse 40 says, Philip found himself further in the city of Azotus. Azotus was 20 miles from where they were. That defies logic. He's here one moment and the next he's 20 miles away. God has these times where you're going to find yourself further. You can't explain it, doesn't make sense, but God propels you ahead. May not be 20 miles to another city, but God propels you in your career. Should have taken you years to build your business, but you found yourself further. God opened the doors. He brought the right people, gave you ideas, caused you to stand out. Now you look up and think, how did I get to Azotus, so to speak? It was the God of acceleration. He's going to propel you in your health. It was supposed to take a long time to get well. You'd made up your mind to endure the treatment, to make it through, but God stepped in and sped things up, did what you couldn't do. Now you found yourself further, healthy, whole, victorious. Or you thought that legal problem would last for years. The experts told you to not get your hopes up, but God hit the fast forward button. He did a quick work and you found yourself further. See, we look at things in the natural. It should take this long to get out of debt. If I work this many hours and save this much, and the stock market does this, my investments do that. And it's good to plan. It's good to be wise, but God is supernatural. All He has to do is hit fast forward and you're 20 years down the road. You find yourself further. Here's the key. You can't calculate His goodness. You can't quantify His blessings, His favor, His increase. There are things He's already planned for you that are out of the ordinary, uncommon. That's why He said, lean not to your own understanding. Don't look at your dreams, your problems, that medical report, just in the natural, on your timeline. God has another timeline. He has some fast forward moments that are going to defy the odds. Acceleration you didn't see coming. Good breaks that will catapult you ahead. You look up and think, how did I get here? I didn't have the training. I wasn't next in line, but God catapulted you ahead. How did I break this addiction? They said it's going to be years, but the chain breaker stepped in. God said enough is enough, and you found yourself further. The prophet Ezekiel said, the hand of the Lord was on me, and He carried me. That word carried in the original language means to shoot out, to launch forward. It implies acceleration. And as God carries you through life, it's not always going to be predictable, routine, at the same pace. You're going to come into these times where God is going to propel you years down the road. You were going along fine, making progress, being faithful, then God hits fast forward. Out of nowhere, you're thrust into levels you didn't see coming. Favor, influence, opportunity that you've never imagined. When my father went to be with the Lord, I had never ministered before. I liked being behind the scenes, doing the television production, but I knew I was supposed to step up and pastor the church. I called our contact at the cable network where my father had a national program for almost 20 years. I told him that Daddy had died and we were going to have to cancel our airtime. I thought, I don't know how to minister. I've never been to seminary, and I'm sure not going to get on television. Nobody's going to listen to me. And I came home that night and talking to Victoria just casually. She said, what'd you do today? And I told her that I canceled our airtime. She looked at me and said, listen here, Joel, you need to call and get that time back. People are watching to see what's going to happen to Lakewood. She was so strong and so passionate about it. I knew there was only one right answer, yes, ma'am. Airtime is very valuable. It was a holiday weekend, so I called the first thing Tuesday morning. The man said, Joel, this is so interesting. I had the time sold on Friday. The contract was on my desk, but something said to me, don't sign it until next week. He gave us our time back. We started airing my messages on television. Much to my surprise, people started watching in record numbers. Other networks started calling. 3 years later, we were on the top stations in all the major cities. I was just hoping to keep things going, but God had another plan. Fast forward. He propelled me further than I ever imagined. What am I saying? You don't know what God has in store for you. He's been carrying you. He's been sustaining you, but part of that carrying are these times where God launches you forward, where He accelerates your destiny. He puts you years down the road. You may feel like you're not making much progress. It can be discouraging. At this rate, it's going to take so long to get ahead, so long to get well, so long for your child to get back on course. What you can't see is God has the remote control. You wouldn't be hearing this if He wasn't about to accelerate some things. Keep being faithful. Keep honoring Him. He's about to hit fast forward and put you years down the road.